Hello, and thanks for joining us for today's video tutorial. We're going to be going over how to add third-party cameras to a Uniview NVR today, and this seems to be a question that comes up pretty frequently for us, so we figured we would do our first video tutorial on it. Now, something to keep in mind about all of this is even though we are using a Uniview NVR and a Hikvision camera, it pretty much covers the whole spectrum of NVRs, cameras, all that kind of good stuff. All of the basic principles are going to be the same. Menus may be a bit different from Dawa to Hike to whoever, but the same basic principles are going to apply. So we are going to need a few things for today, and those are a PoE switch. Obviously, we are going to need our camera, and we're also going to need some Cat5e or Cat6. Let's start by making sure that our NVR is visible over the network, and then we'll move over to our camera. Now, if this is an existing install that you've got an NVR installed already, and you're just adding a camera, you can skip this step completely. But if you're adding a new NVR to an existing install, like you've already got all the cameras installed, you might want to do this. And it'll also give you a good idea of where it is on the network. So we can see our target NVR right here. Again, yours is going to look different. That's fine. But we see ours right here. So this is our target NVR. Okay, so now we can move on to making sure that the camera is visible over the network. So we're going to open up the SADP tool because it's a Hikvision camera. And we can see that this has an IP address of 10.1.10.70. But the gateway is actually off, so that's a bit odd. So we're going to come over here, we're going to click Enable DHCP, we're going to type in our admin credentials, and hit Modify. And we can see that is successful. So the reason we're doing that is because we're just going to let the router take care of it. On our network, we don't have any restrictions as far as addressing or anything like that. Your network may be a little different. So if it is, and you do have restrictions on addressing, go ahead and assign that manually. Just uncheck DHCP, type in your IP address, your gateway, and your subnet, and then put in your admin credentials, hit Modify, and then double check. So right here, we can double check. We're at 10.1.10.70 and 10.1.10.1 for our gateway today. So if you prefer doing it on the unit itself, it's the same process, so no worries on that front. So I am going to go ahead and open up my browser here. We're going to type in the IP address of the NVR, and we're going to log in. So from here, we're going to go to Setup, and then into our camera menu, and that's going to bring up our camera list immediately. So in our camera list, we can see that there is one available, and we can see that because it's grayed out. So we're going to select this channel. Now, again, this is our example. You may have 12 channels that are assignable. But we are going to select that camera. We're going to hit Modify. We're going to drop Add Mode. We're going to drop that down and make it IP address as is. Okay, sometimes it's default to plug and play. So we're going to make that IP address. Since we're not using a Uniview camera, we're going to change this to OnViv. We're going to type in the IP address of our camera. And we can double check that real quick. Over here, 10.1.10.70, 10.1.10.70. Okay, port, we're going to leave that alone. Username is admin. Make sure that's all lowercase. It is by default, but doesn't hurt to check. And then we're going to type in our camera's password. This is the camera's password, not the DVR's password. And then we are going to hit save. We're going to see this after we've saved. We're going to see this turn blue. And we can see that if we hover over it, it says it's connecting. Take this opportunity to close that annoying little balloon. We're going to give this just a few more seconds, and then we're going to refresh up here. Okay, and we can see that turned green, and if we hover over it, it says online. So if we come over here to live view and click on camera 16, we should get an image, and we do. And it is looking at one of our dual lens PTZs that we have testing right now. Alright, that'll pretty much wrap it up for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. If you found this helpful, click the like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Anyway guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.